Hey everyone, Lou here. Similar to other tier list videos I've done, I thought it'd be fun to do a video of a tier list for Genshin Impact. So this is only up till 4.1, so characters like Nuvlet and Worsley aren't in here, as well as obviously Farina, Navia, and other Fontaine characters, so just thought I'd warn that here for a second. So today, let's go over my Genshin Impact tier list. I'll be basing this off of the character's playability, how much I like their character, whether or not I have them so I know their story, and stuff like that. So, let's get started. Our first character we're starting off with is Albedo. He is actually one of my favorite characters in Genshin Impact. I love how sweet and soft Albedo is. His abilities are also incredible for literally any team, specifically Ito teams, if I'm being honest. I love him. His hair is just my favorite part of his design for some reason. I love how like messy but also slicked back it looks. He just has a really great design, really great personality. I love him. He's going up here. Aloy is next, and I'm not very familiar with Horizon Zero Dawn. I mean, I know of it because it does make heavy cameos in Death Stranding, which is a game I play a lot. And I am familiar with it through other people. But Aloy in Genshin is just a character I don't find very interesting. Like, Aloy as a character in her own game is cool, but in Genshin I feel like she's very lacking. And her abilities suck, so as much as I like Aloy's design, and I think her design is nice, and they did a decent enough job of trying to put her own abilities into the game, she's just poop, so she's going here. Amber, I'm sorry for anyone who likes Amber, but she's kind of my least favorite Mondstadt character next to another one you'll see here. Her abilities suck. Her personality is a little too plain for me. Even when I read the webcomic featuring the backstory for the character Colette. So I'm sorry to anyone watching this, but Amber is also poo, so she's going here. Ayaka, I adore her character's design. I think her character design is very graceful. To me though, I think her best outfit is her Fontaine-based outfit. I think she looks beautiful. Her personality is also really sweet. I love how elegant she is. And her abilities are fucking insane. My goodness, this girl can deal some damage even on the most basic build. So, Ayaka, although we technically don't know as much about her as other Inazuma characters, technically, she's going here. I love her, so she's great. Barbara is one of my favorite Mondstadt characters. I love her sweet little soft voice, her cute little song, her outfit is something I want to cosplay really badly. She's one of my favorite healers in the game, and she's just so cute. Of course, one of my favorite outfits with her is her summer outfit, which I got for free from the very first event featuring it. So cute. I adore this girl, and her events, her meetup in the game is just really cute. So for me, Barbara is a double S tier. That is best girl. Beidou is a character I'm not really a fan of. Like, she's okay, don't get me wrong, like, as a character. She's a cool pirate lady, you know, big sister type of character, I guess. Her design is very nice. Her abilities aren't really my thing. I'm not a big fan of waiting to get hit and then doing the hit thing. Her playstyle is just not my forte. She's kind of mid to me, so that's why she's going here, just because I do like her personality. Bennett, I actually have mixed feelings for. I know Bennett is seen as one of the best 4-star characters in the entire game, but personality-wise, I'm not a huge fan of Bennett, and I think that's because I'm not a fan of the loudmouth, clumsy, young protagonist boy, and that's the kind of character Bennett is. But I'm not gonna sit here and say his abilities aren't amazing. They're really great if you have characters like Child on your team, especially Technically speaking, his final constellation is really helpful when you have Child on your team because Child has ass cooldown. But I'm sorry for Bennett fans, but he's also going here. For him, it's the opposite reason as Beidou, because he has a really great kit, but I'm not a fan of his personality. Shongyu, he's okay. I like his exorcist kind of like personality. I think it's neat. I don't really see many exorcist characters and I really like his design. It's just that his abilities aren't something I think are very fun. To me, he just isn't my forte, but I did have a lot of fun playing his character event. It was really cute and I like the ghost hunting adventure with it. So Chongyun is cute. He's going here. Diluc is one of my other favorite Mondstadt characters. I love Diluc's personality. I love his backstory. I love his abilities. You're gonna find me hard pressed to find anything negative about Diluc other than he should hug his brother. Like that's literally it. For me, I think Diluc also has one of the best skins in the entire game. His Dark Knight thing with the high ponytail, like best money I've ever spent on a costume in the game. He looks incredible. Y'all should see the fan art I see for that. Diluc is going here. I love this man. Diona is cute. She kind of reminds me of one of my cats just because she has a very similar personality to one of my cats. I do like Diona though. I think she's very cute. I like how childish she is. Her build though is easily one of the best in the game, at least for me. She works so well with my Ayaka team, and she works just about as well with any team I use on the Spiral Abyss, so I really like Diona. She's not the best though, just because her constant hating of alcohol is a little annoying, so she's going here. Only because it's a little annoying hearing her constantly hate alcohol. Like, honey, you gotta realize you live in a town where a lot of people are traumatized, okay? Next is Eula. I'm sorry to anyone who likes Eula, but I hate her. I think Eula, even though I get it, she's supposed to be a tsundere, I think Eula's a rip-roaring bitch. I'm sorry. Like, every voice line I hear, she just sounds so bitter, and I'm not a fan of characters who act mean all the time, even if they are secretly nice. It's just like, why can't you be nice? That and her abilities are just okay. She's just an ice version of Diluc, if I'm being honest, so I'm sorry to Eula fans, but she's going here. Yanfei I actually really like. I think she's very cutesy and nerdy about her love of the law and stuff. Her abilities are a little tricky for me, just because I'm not very used to how she works, but that's just me. But I do think her voice lines are pretty funny when she talks about things in the law that bother her. But she's not the best character ever either, but I really like her design, so I think she's going here just because of she has this constant up and down with me. Fischl, I know she is also deemed one of the best characters in the game because of her abilities with Oz, but I'm sorry, I am not a personal fan of Fischl's personality. Playing through the last summer event featuring Fischl was very, very obnoxious, if I'm being honest. I just have a hard time understanding Fischl because she speaks in like these weird, like poetic words, and Oz has to constantly translate for her, so I'm sorry to say I'm not a big fan of Fischl's personality. Her abilities are cool, don't get me wrong, I really like Oz, but yeah, I'm sorry to say. Okay, so sorry about the sudden cut here. One of my cats thought it was a really great idea to jump on my desk in the middle of recording and walked all over my keyboard and stopped the recording basically, so I had to redo this bit, sorry. So yeah, I'm sorry for Fischl fans, but she's gonna go here. I'm just not a big fan of her personality. Even if her build could be like one of the best in the game, she's just a hard character to tolerate because of her personality. Ganyu, I think, is really, really cute as a character just because I think her design is so sweet. And I think her voice lines when she uses her ultimate are really sweet and makes me sad for Zhongli. Not a. I don't. I have done her playstyle from one of her character quests, but I'm not a huge fan of it. I'm not really sure. It's actually been a while, so Ganyu is just, I guess, okay for me, but personality wise and character design wise, she's really cute. So Ganyu is going here. Goro, I actually really like. I think Goro is adorable, and I think it's really cute to have a dog boy, specifically one that looks like a Shiba Inu, because those are my favorite breed of dog. Um, and Goro is just really cute. Like, I know he's supposed to be this tough, serious general who looks cute, but he is cute. I can't lie. Like, I just want to pet his little head. He's adorable. So Goro is a fun character, and I also really love his abilities for Ito. Just kind of makes me ship them. If I know that can be weird given their height difference, but that's just me. So for me, Goro is going here. I really like him. Hu Tao, now I'm not a big fan of the way she plays. I'm not a fan of characters who have to constantly lose health, gain health, lose health, gain health sort of thing. It's kind of annoying to me. And I'm a very aggressive player, so it's not really my style to be more calculated when I play Genshin. So at least in terms of combat, instead of having to constantly like break to heal and stuff with Hu Tao. But I love her personality and design. She's adorable. Her design is just one of the best in the game. I love her. So even though her playstyle isn't my favorite, she's still really cute. Ito, I'm sure you guys can guess, is one of my favorite characters in the game. I fucking love Ito. He's a himbo, he's got a really great design, he's got a really great playstyle. There's hardly anything negative you could say about Ito. Mainly he's kind of stupid, but that's the whole point of his character. So for me, Ito is going here because I love this man so much. Kaya is also one of my favorite characters. I love that we're giving him for free just because I really love his character. And story-wise, it's surprising how important he secretly is. You would never think he's a Kanria prince, sort of. And I think that's really interesting. Personality wise, I think he's fascinating in that he hides his loneliness and trauma via like an over the top, extra flirty personality. So that's really fascinating. For me, Kaya is great and he's going up here. Next is Kazuha. Kazuha is one of the characters I felt everyone slept on when his banner first came out. I remember so many people passed up on his first banner because they wanted Ayaka instead. And for me, it was the opposite. I had wanted Kazuha because when I first played his demo, his abilities looked incredible. And to this day, I do not regret it because I love Kazuha. His playstyle is so fun. And I think he's a really interesting character in how he's been a disgraced noble. He's been through a lot, lost his best friend slash boyfriend, but he's still, at the end of the day, despite everything he's been through, extremely calm and gentle. And I love his design. I know this is controversial, but I love when Genshin characters kind of have an opposite color scheme or different color scheme from their vision. And so it's really interesting to have Kazuha be the red maple leaf instead of like the usual blue leaf in the wind sort of thing. So for me, Kazuha is easily S tier. Okay, so Keqing is actually one of the first characters from Genshin Impact I saw. I remember specifically really well getting this advertisement. I think it was Keqing's character gameplay trailer, and I remember just really loving her design. Mainly because purple is one of my favorite colors, but also because I thought her design was really elegant and fancy. And I found the take on her shoes to be really interesting because if you don't know, her shoes are actually traditional binding shoes, which I thought was really interesting. So for me, I think Keqing is a really great character because I love how serious and no nonsense she can be. But then the second you hang out with her as a friend and all that, she's just really sweet. And I think her playstyle is really fun. She feels like she can move like lightning, and it's really great. I love playing Keqing sometimes, not all the time because it depends on the enemy, but Keqing is still really fun. So for me, she's going here. Klee, I think, is one of the most adorable characters in this game. She is so cute. Although her playstyle isn't really my thing, just because I feel like Klee is a little too slow for my liking, I think Klee's design and her character is just really cute. The last event featuring Klee was just warmed my heart because she was so adorable, and her witch costume is literally the best thing ever. She is so cute. So for me, Klee is going here. Sangonomiya Kokomi is another one of my favorite characters, actually one of my favorite in all of Inazuma. I think she has one of the most beautiful designs in all of Genshin, and I love her animation and the fact that she moves like a mermaid. I love her personality and that she portrays herself as a serious general, but in reality, she's just really tired and just wants to sit and read a book, which is a huge mood. I also love her voice. Her playstyle is a little weird to get used to. I don't have her in game because every fucking time her banner has come, I either lose the 50-50 or it's in the middle of another banner I really wanted, so I had to skip her, unfortunately, but someday she will be mine. Someday I will fight for Sangonomiya Kokomi. So I love this mermaid girl. I adore her. To me, she is double S tier. I know her abilities are basically like Barbara, I guess, but she's still an adorable character. I love her. Lisa, I also think, has a really beautiful design. I love purple, as you could probably tell from how many times I talk about characters having pretty designs, and you notice they have a lot of purple incorporated. I think the purple rose motif is really beautiful. It gives me kind of Rose and Maiden vibes. And her costume as a witch is really cute. I really like her academia design too. I think it's really cute. So for me, Lisa is going here. Only because her flirtatious personality is not my thing, because I'm not into women. So having this character I'm not into flirt with me is just like, okay, I get it. Back off a little. You know what I mean? I'm sure it's the same thing with people who aren't into men who have Kaya constantly flirting with their character. So Mona, I feel, has the potential for a great design. Like, Mona has a lot of elements I really like. I think it's just the bodysuit that throws me off. To me, I think she could use a poofy skirt, but that's just me. Mona's abilities are okay. They're not really my thing. I remember playing her character quest, and I wasn't a fan of the way she played. I've never gotten Mona from the character banner, surprisingly, so... but I've heard she's a really great character, actually, so who knows? Maybe I'm just bad at the game or something. Mona is an okay personality, though. So, for me, Mona's just here. She's kind of mid to me. Ningguang is a character I really love the design for. I love that she has those fancy nobility pointy rating things because I think they look really cool on her. And I love her personality. To me, if there was ever a reason that Celestia would like give Liyue a new Archon for whatever reason, I feel like Ningguang would be the best candidate. I'm not a huge fan of her playstyle just because it's not my thing, but she's still a great character. I like her. So for me, Ningguang is here. She's mid only because I feel like there are times where she's just okay, but she's still a really cool character, don't get me wrong. Noelle, I think, has a really great design, and I think she has a fun playstyle. She's a decent support, but I don't know. There's something about Noelle that doesn't always feel like she's top tier. To me, again, she feels kind of mid. Jean is a character I really like. She's another character from Mondstadt I think is just really cool. I love how badass she is and determined to be like her ancestor Vanessa, but also kind of insecure in herself. Her abilities are really fun too. I haven't built her all the way, but she's still really fun. So for me, Jean is going here. Chi-Chi, I know everybody doesn't like her because everybody and their mother always somehow gets Chi-Chi when they lose the 50-50 banner. But for me, I think she's so cute. I think it's really clever to make like this adorable little girl, a Chinese zombie, and I just think she's cute. Her abilities are also really useful. Chi-Chi was another 5-star character I got when I first started Genshin. So for me, Chi-Chi was really helpful in the Spiral Abyss when I didn't really have a lot of healers in my group. So for me, Chi-Chi is going here. Also, her story makes me sad. Razor, I'm gonna be honest, is a little cringe. I'm not a big fan of the character Wild Boy who doesn't know how to talk properly and just kind of acts like a wolf. So, Razor's kind of meh. I'm sorry, guys. He's not terrible just because his playstyle is really fun. I mean, he literally has a stand that's so cool. But personality-wise, Razor's a little cringe, so I'm sorry. He's going here. Rosaria, I think, is actually really cool. I don't have her leveled up in her character story, so I don't know if she's supposed to be a vampire, but she looks like a vampire, and that alone is really cool. Not a big fan of the way she plays, mostly because I have a hard time grasping it, but I still think her design is really cool, so for design alone, she's going here because I'm sure you all can tell I love vampires. So Kujo Sada is another character I really like. I think it's so cool to have a lot of Inazuma characters be yokai, and a Tengu in particular in this style of design is something I don't see very often, so I really, really like. And I think it's clever to use the fan of the Tengu as an ability. I don't really understand how she plays. I've tried many a time, and I just don't understand how she plays. She's still cool though, so she's going here. Sayu's just a huge mood for me. I mean, she's constantly tired. She's a young woman. She's really bad at her job. So, to me, I really like Sayu. I think her design is really cute, and I think her voice is adorable. She's just a really cute character, and she's super fun to play. I love how chaotic she is when she rolls into a ball. Something about it just feels so satisfying and fun. So for me, Sayu is going here. Shinha is a character I've always been very mixed on. I think her design is really beautiful, and her story is gut-wrenchingly sad, but I feel like Shinha, personality-wise, is just really meh. Like, I get it, she's secretly murderous or something, but I don't know, Shinha just is okay. I also played her during her character quest, and obviously when there was a demo of her available when her banner was up, and her playstyle's fine. It's not my thing, but it's fine. To me, I'm sorry, but Shinha is going here. Raiden Shogun is one of my favorite archons in the game. Her design is beautiful, her playstyle is incredible, her backstory breaks my heart. She's just a really great character, and I loved her development throughout her 2 story arcs. So for me, Raiden Shogun is going here. I love this queen. Sucrose is a character I think is really, really cute. Actually, fun fact, I use Sucrose as a character reference for art on my channel sometimes, just as a reference for how to do my glasses in an anime art style, because it's not always easy to find characters wearing glasses in anime, or at least cute glasses in anime for girls. So for me, Sucrose is really, really cute. Her playstyle is really fun too. I consider her the diet Kazuha, if you will. And so for me, Sucrose is going here. I really like her. Child is one of my favorite characters in the game. I love him. He is chaotic. He is ridiculously handsome. He is really fun to play. And I really like his character design. I know that, like, right now he's in a hot spot in Fontaine, but what can I say? I love a chaotic man. Child is going here. Toma, I love this guy. I recently did his character story quest thing they do, and his was so cute. Every single path is just adorable for Toma. I feel like there's no bad end to these, or at least the ones with Toma. So he's really cute. For me, Toma is going here. Yes, his playstyle can be a little tricky just because he has really long wait times on everything, but he can still be a really fun support, especially for coincidentally Child, actually. I really like Venti's character. It took me a while to warm up to him, but as soon as I did, I found I really liked his character. He reminds me a lot of Peter Pan, if that makes sense. And his backstory also breaks my heart. Sad the nameless bard died, all that. Playstyle-wise, he's fun too. I've never been able to get Venti because every time he's been available, it's between a banner I want next or a banner I just rolled for and that I got the character I wanted from, so I didn't have enough wishes for the next one. So maybe someday I'll get Venti, but you know, one can hope. On this tier list though, he's going here. Xiangling is a character I originally, I'm gonna be honest, kind of slept on. Again, everyone says Xiangling is one of the best characters in the game, and they're not wrong in terms of playstyle. Guoba is literally fucking insane, and so is her Pyronado thing. It can be pretty crazy, especially if you're playing a character like Child or something like that. Like, she can be fucking crazy to work with. Personality-wise, I think she's cute. One of my favorite things with Xiangling was one of the last Lantern Rite festivals. I think Xiangling was just really cute there, and I love how much she wanted to support Guoba and everything. Just really cute. For me, Xiangling is going here. She's really, really cute. Xiao, I know everyone froths at the mouth over him. I think Xiao is just okay. He has a really sad backstory, but for me, I'm just not a big fan of the way he plays, and he's just not the type of character I find myself really drawn to a lot of the time. That's okay. But for me, Xiao is going here. He's just kind of mid to me. Xingqiu is a character I really, really love to play, especially on teams with Child. He's really fun, and I love the way he supports other characters with his water swords. It's just really satisfying to hit something with them. Personality-wise, he's okay. He's a nerd for being a noble, and I think it's really cute. He kind of just reminds me of, like, you put Sail Phantom Hive in Genshin Impact, I guess. He's cute. I like him. For me, Xingqiu is going here. Xinyan, I'm sorry to say, I'm not a huge fan of her personality. Rock and roll characters are just a little meh to me. Not a big fan of the screamy rock and roll, let's do this kind of characters. It's just not my thing. The song she does with Hu Tao is pretty cute, but I mean, visually she has a really great design and her playstyle is somewhat fun. I remember playing with her very early on in Genshin Impact because she is a character I got for free in some event, I think, or something. She's just kind of okay playstyle wise, and I'm not a big fan of her personality. I do love her character design though, so I'm sorry to say, but Xinyan goes here. Yae Miko is a character I initially didn't care for too much, but after playing her character quest, I actually really like her. I love that she's this sassy fox who, like, always tricks people. And I love that every man in Inazuma is, like, terrified of her because she will find a way to fuck them over. I think it's particularly hilarious how she trolls Goro. I think it's really, really funny. Her playstyle's actually surprisingly really fun. I played her character story a while ago, and I found her playstyle and her character demo there to be really fun. So for me, Yae Miko is going here. Next is Yoimiya. I think Yoimiya's character is really sweet. I love how fun-loving she is. But I think her design is what really makes her stand out because she has this cute, rebellious design to her. And I love the idea of festivals incorporated all over her design, from her firework tattoos to her cute little hair bubbles. She's just really fun, and I think her playstyle was something that had to grow on me because I played her demo in one of her last banners, and She was surprisingly fun, and I understood finally how the fuck she's supposed to play, so I actually really like Yoimiya. She's going here. Yunjin is one of my favorite female designs in UA. I love Yunjin's design so much. I think it's beautiful. I think her song in one of the Lantern Rite events, I think, was just really amazing. I think her personality is just lovely. Her design is incredible. I want to cosplay it so bad. And her abilities are really, really fun, especially when you have a team that aren't all the same element, so she can be really helpful for teams like that. So for me, Yunjin is going here. I love this opera girly so much. Zhongli, I don't even think I need to state it, but Zhongli is literally my top tier favorite Genshin Impact character. I love his backstory, I love his design, I love his playstyle, I love his voice actors, there's hardly anything negative you can say about Zhongli. He is literally the best or one of the best Genshin Impact characters. So for me, Zhongli is going here. I love this man so much. Ayato, I am ridiculously thirsty for Ayaka's very hot older brother. So for me, Ayato is amazing. I actually really, really wanted him when his banner first dropped. I really loved the way he played when I tried his character demo and his character story. It was really, really fun. It was like a hydro version of Ayaka, if I'm being honest. Unfortunately, I've never been able to get Ayato just because his banners always clash with one that I'm really trying to get or one that I just recently got, so I have no wishes left. I hope the rumors about him being on Farina's banner aren't true, because I am 100% getting Farina because I love her character, so rest in peace Ayato if that's the case. But for me, Ayato is going here. I love this man. Kuki Shinobu, I think, is a really, really cool and fun character. I adore her character design. I think it's really, really cool and really, really fun. Her abilities are also really nice. I've always loved that weapon that's like a sword, but it turns into a whip. I've always thought that weapon is really, really cool. And I love the way it's incorporated in Genshin. As well as I love her personality, and I love that she's basically the only voice of reason in the Arataki gang, so for me, Shinobu is going here. Yelan is a character I'm not a huge fan of just because I think she's kind of okay. Her playstyle is nuts though. She is a really great character to have on your team, and I think her design is really pretty. I also love her English voice actress because she voices a lot of characters I really love, like Isabella from The Promised Neverland. So for me, Yelan is going here. For some reason, this tier list, whoever made it, which will be credited in the description because I can't remember it off the top of my head, for some reason they put Shinobu and Yelan twice. Not sure about that, but okay. Next is Hazel. Hazel was a character I remember really, really wanting when he first appeared, but over time he's just kind of mid for me. I mean, at first I had some assumptions about his character that I thought would be a lot cooler, but now he's just kind of what I consider the poor man's Wander, so sorry to say, but Hazel goes here. Kale is a character I think has a really cute personality. It's just a shame she's not as great as she could have been, but I still think her personality more than makes up for it, as well as her design. I remember there was a lot of hype for Kale because she first appeared in a webcomic in Genshin Impact, and from there people made a lot of assumptions about her vision to what kind of character she'd be like and all that. But for me, I think Kale is really cute, and I like her story throughout the Archon quest, so for me, Kale is here. Dori, I know, is considered a problematic character, considering a lot of Sumeru can be a little problematic. Not gonna go into it because it's not my place to go into it, but I actually really, really like Dori's design. I think she's a really cute genie. I love her little sunglasses. I think it's adorable how like money hungry she is, but the reason why makes sense and is a punch to the gut, as per usual with Genshin backstories. So for me, I'm just not a big fan of the way she plays. It's just not my thing. So for me, Dori goes here. Okay, so for me, I have very different interpretations for the Traveler twins. I know that canonically Aether is the canon Traveler, but for me, I play Lumine, so Lumine is my canon Traveler. And for me, I've always interpreted quite differently from the way they're supposed to be portrayed in Genshin. For me, I think Lumine is the rebellious, adventurous one, and Aether is the academic calm one. So for me, Aether, in how I interpret him as the Abyss sibling, um, is interesting, you know? So for me, Aether is going here. I'm also not a huge fan of his design. I just think his design is okay. Lumine, on the other hand, I adore her design, and I'm getting cocky when I say this, but I love the way I interpret her. I think her design is really pretty, and it's just a shame that Hoyoverse doesn't see her as a main character as often as they do Aether. But for me, Lumine is going here. I love her and her harem. Tainari, I'm sure everybody has mixed feelings on Tainari now due to some issues with a previous voice actor of his, but nowadays, Tainari, I feel like he's really grown on me. This is gonna sound weird, but with his previous voice actor before, I wasn't a huge fan of his character. He seemed a bit rude to me as his character, but now with a new voice actor who has done a better job at interpreting his lines, he feels a lot more fun and a lot more interesting and exciting of a character. So for me, Tainari's going here. I also really like his playstyle, and I really keep hoping I someday get Tainari if I lose a 50-50, because I've been really wanting his character. Candace is one of my favorite female Sumeru designs. When I first saw her, I was absolutely in love with her design. I think it's beautiful. I love the Egyptian inspiration. I love just everything about her design, from her heterochromia to her shield to her Egyptian motifs. Everything about it is just amazing. Her personality is also really sweet. I love that she's this big cis maternal figure. It's really cute, and her playstyle, it's still taking me a while to get used to, but I can see the potential with it. But for me, Candace is going here. I love her. Sino is another one of my favorite Sumeru designs. I know he's the first character we've ever seen for Sumeru, but for me, I have always found Sino's design to be incredible. Anubis motifs is one of my favorite designs in characters, and I think his is just so badass. Even if his playstyle isn't really my thing, because it's just like Razor Plus, I still think Tainari's design is badass and amazing. As well as just his personality's funny. I love that he's serious, and when he tries to be funny, it's miserable. So for me, Sino is here. Nilu is a character I feel a lot of people sleep on, just because I really love her personality, and I think her design is really, really beautiful. I've always been a fan of the aquatic themed dancer, if that makes sense. I know that sounds really weird, but I just think Nilu's design and her abilities is so pretty. And someday I hope to get Nilu, just because I think she's so pretty and her playstyle is really fun. So for me, Nilu is going here. Layla is a character I think has one of the most beautiful looking abilities, if that makes sense. I love that all her abilities have like this lullaby motif to it, and her ultimate kind of looks like a baby mobile, if that makes sense. I just think she's really cute, and her ability designs are really clever to me. So for me, Layla's going here. She's also a really great shield, by the way. Nahida is another one of my, as you can see, another one of my favorite archons, because I love Nahida's personality. I love how much wisdom she carries despite being so young, and I love her design. I think it's really cute. I also love that despite being separated from people for a long time and held captive by the academia, she doesn't hold any ill will towards them. She's really peaceful and kind, and I just think Nahida's an adorable character. So for me, Nahida's here. Hopefully someday I can get her, because also her playstyle is nuts. Faruzan just kind of looks like Hatsune Miku to me. I do feel bad for her character, because I can't begin to imagine what it's like just being immortal for 100 years. But her playstyle is really, really fun though. She's really great for Wander, who I'll talk about in a second. Um, but for me, I feel like her personality is just kind of hard to get used to just because I feel like she's just such a no-nonsense granny type that unlike Kuching, it's a little harder to like. So for me, only for personality she goes here. Her playstyle's nuts though, I love it. Wander ended up becoming a character I really, really, really liked. Now, when he was originally Scaramouche, I didn't care for him too much. I thought he was just some edgy asshole that, like, people frothed at the mouth over because edgy asshole, but in actuality, he really grew on me, especially throughout the Archon quest of Sumeru. So for me, you know, he just grew on me, and I love his new design. I actually think it fits him a lot better. And his playstyle is absolutely insane. It's one of my favorites to play in the game. So for me, this may seem surprising, but Wander is going here. Alhaitham is a character I totally fell in love with. He reminds me a lot of like Seto Kaiba, if that makes sense. I also just really love his personality and his banter with Kaveh, who obviously I'll get to. Alhaitham is just really fun to play, and I hope someday I do get him because he's like basically Dendro Kuching, to be honest. But I think he's ridiculously handsome, ridiculously fun, and ridiculously enjoyable. So for me, Alhaitham's going here. As you can see, I have a thing for hot guys in Genshin. Next is Yao Yao, who has always been a very highly anticipated character due to promotional art with Chi-Chi years and years ago. And for a lot of people, Yao Yao was considered a disappointment, but for me, I really, really like Yao Yao. I think there's something really tragic but kind of sweet that she acts so grown up despite being so young, but clearly it's tragic because obviously her parents aren't there for her the way they should be, and so she feels like she has to rely on only herself and take care of everyone else. I also really love her design. I think the big bells in her hair is just so cute, and her playstyle is really fun. I think she's a great healer, so for me, Yao Yao is going here. Dia is a character I originally felt very meh about, but over time I actually really like her character. I think she's a really cool girl, and I love her backstory. I think it's both sad and just very, very interesting. The only thing about Dia I can agree with a lot of people in the Genshin community is that she's not very fun to play. She's just kind of meh, if I'm being honest, as I've played her character quest and I've played her demo before. She is probably the only character in this entire video I hope I never lose a 50-50 to, because I'm just not a fan of the way she plays, man. It's kind of meh. So for me, Dia is sadly going here. But don't get me wrong, I love her design and I love her personality. It's just, man, her playstyle fucking sucks. Mika, otherwise known as Kagami Neilen, I've never actually played because unfortunately I've sort of missed every banner he's been on. I took a bit of a break from Genshin for about, I want to say 6 months. And so in that time, I unfortunately was not able to play Mika or experience any events or banners with Mika, but I think he's cute. I did see his introduction when like he gave a announcement letter on what happened to the Grandmaster of the Knights of Avonius or whatever, but I think it's really interesting that he uses a crossbow as his main ability, but he's actually a bow user, but I think that's just really interesting. I've always heard he's also a really great ice support, but I don't know. For me, I think his design though is one of the best, just because he looks so much like Lin, but like if Len were a bird, if that makes sense. And for that reason alone, because I am such a Vocaloid weep, he's going here. Fremine is a character as you've heard me say a lot in this video, I initially slept on, but after receiving Fremine from Child's Banner, I actually grew to really love his character. He is so tragically sad, it breaks my heart. Like, unlocking his character stories is the saddest shit ever. Like, these characters in Genshin keep getting more and more traumatized with every update. I really love his design too. I really love the steampunk-esque design because I feel like Fontaine is really lacking that with playable characters so far. Can't wait to see more, but I think his steampunk design is really, really fun and cute. His playstyle is also really great to me. He feels like a 4-star version of Diluc, actually. He's been really fun to play and is now one of my favorite 4-stars to play as a main DPS. So for me, Fremine is going here. Lynette has become one of my favorite female character designs in for Fontaine next to Farina, and I really, really love the way Lynette plays. It's so much fun. I know a lot of people say she's mid, but as someone who built her up and has her C2 and all that, she grew to be quite a beast for my team with Fremine, so for me, Lynette's going here. I also think her backstory is really fucking sad, like many Genshin characters, but hers is almost traumatic, so... Next is Linny. Linny, I remember feeling kind of meh when I first ever saw his character design from the concept trailer of Genshin, but now Linny has really grown on me. I adore his charismatic personality, and I think the voice actor did a really good job of bringing that charisma to his character. The only thing is just I'm not a big fan of the way Linny plays. It's just not my thing, but character design alone and his personality, he goes here. Kirara, unfortunately, much like Mika, I passed on her banner appearance. So, unfortunately, I don't know anything about Kirara's personality or her playstyle, but I think she's a really fun character. I think it's really cool to have a Bakeneko character, just because I feel like those are really rare. So, design-wise, I think she's really great, but because I don't know anything about her, unfortunately, she's going here. Baiju is a character I have loved since the very beginning. There is something about the shady doctor that always gets to me. That and his playstyle from when he was first leaked is insane. I think he's one of the best supports in the game, even though I don't have him. Always wanted him, but I don't have him. Absolutely love, love, love his character, though. Really great character, really interesting. I love his relationship with Chi-Chi. I think it's really cute. So for me, Baiju is going here. And finally is Kaveh. Kaveh, I'm gonna be honest, I was a little disappointed, only because I thought Kaveh would be like a Tamaki Suo type of character, if that makes sense. I thought he would be overly charismatic and over the top, kind of like Linny. But I was surprised to see that he's actually rather calm and a little bitchy. His playstyle, though, looks fun. I unfortunately never got to play it, because I, again, missed his banner opportunity. But I think Kaveh has grown on me personality-wise. I just think he works best when he's arguing with Alhaitham because their relationship is so fun, and I think they're great wink wink nudge nudge roommates, if you catch my drift. It's just unfortunate that he didn't meet the expectations I had for his personality, but I really like his design. I think it's really pretty. So for me, Kaveh is going here. Maybe he'll be lower or higher depending on how he plays, because I've never gotten the opportunity to try and play him, but who knows? For those wondering, by the way, Nuvlet and Worsley would be here. Also, Farina would be here. Navia would be about here. And I think that's it. I know I'm forgetting the Electro one, but she's just kind of meh, so maybe she'd be like right here or something. But yeah, that is so far my Genshin Impact tier list for 4.1. I hope you guys enjoyed this tier list. I know it. These tier lists are fun to make for me because I get to say thoughts off the top of my head without spending hours and hours reading a script, and just get to do something kind of impulsive like this. So if you guys liked this or want another tier list, let me know down below and let me know what you think. Are there any characters here that maybe you agree with their position on the tier list? Are there any that you're appalled by? I know I'm probably going to get a lot of angry Eula fans, so as always, let me know down below. Hey guys, thanks for watching! If you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you're new. If any of you would like to help support my channel in any possible way, my Ko-fi page is down below in the description, along with all of my social media. For any subscribers, new or old, who'd like to help with video ideas, or maybe just want to talk about anime or something, I have a fan server linked down below. See you next time!